Let's talk more about this now with Democratic Congressman and a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Brad Schneider. So, Congressman, you were just in Saudi Arabia at the World Economic Forum. The secretary was there as well. He said, quote, the one only thing standing between the people of Gaza and a ceasefire is Hamas. It does appear that there is a renewed sense of urgency to get this deal done. Is there a fear from the administration's perspective, from your perspective, that this may be the last good opportunity that we have to get this done?
Thank you. I can't speak for the administration, but we have seen multiple offers made to Hamas where Israel has agreed, these have been brokered by the United States, Qatar, and Egypt, to bring the hostages home in exchange for a pause in the fighting that opens the door to bring all the hostages home, not just the few that would be released at the beginning. And these are hostages still living as well as those who are dead, to bring their bodies and allow the families closure. And ultimately to set a course to make sure Hamas cannot control Gaza in the future, and Israel and the Palestinians can find a path towards a new direction. Hamas has rejected all of those. This is in all likelihood, the last one on the table that's available. As Secretary Blinken said, it is extraordinarily generous. The Israelis have reduced their initial demand from 40 of the 133 hostages to accepting 33, as well as the release of many prisoners, Palestinian prisoners, including convicted terrorists with blood on their hands. But this is something that Hamas has to choose.
Okay, so you were just in Israel recently. You met with the president, Isaac Herzog. You met with Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Defense Minister, Benny Gantz. What did you get out of those conversations?
Well, what we saw is that Israel is fighting an existential war against Hamas. It's a multi-front war. You have the conflict on the north with Hezbollah. Houthis are firing rockets. At the core of all of that is Iran. But Israel also has the fact that there are 133 hostages, many known dead, but many alive, being held by Hamas in Gaza that need to come home. Long-term, Israel is looking for a strategy where it can have its security. What the United States is saying that that security is dependent upon not just finding a resolution to the war in Gaza, but creating the opportunity for Israel's normalization of relationships beyond the Abraham Accords, but also with Saudi Arabia and integration into the whole region. If we can get to that path, then the final ultimate defeat of Hamas will be when Israel and its neighbors are living in peace.
And obviously we've seen demonstrations all across the country now at college campuses break out. How concerned does that make you? And how do you think that the differences between these protesters and these administration officials can be resolved?
Yeah, let me start with saying very clearly that it's the right of all Americans for these students to speak their minds. And there'll be some who you agree with and some who you disagree with. I'll defend everyone's right to have their say, and even those who I think are completely wrong and oftentimes completely vile. But that doesn't give them the right to harass other students, to threaten and isolate or intimidate other students. And the vandalism we see is very different. So the protests are one thing. The actions of many of these groups on campus is something else. We need the administrations to step up and to speak out against many of these actions. And when the students cross the line, as we saw at Columbia, when it crosses the line into vandalism and destruction, those students need to face the consequences of the law.
All right, and while I have you here, one off topic from what we're discussing right now, and that's the situation with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's decided that she is going to pull this motion to vacate against Speaker Johnson. Your Democratic leadership has said that they would support a motion to table. Where are you on that issue?
So we had a caucus meeting yesterday, as we do every week when we come back. Leader Jeffries asked the caucus, I was one of the ones who stood up and spoke, that this is very different than what happened last September, October, when then Speaker McCarthy basically thumbed his nose at Democrats. What Speaker Johnson did by bringing the bills to provide aid for Taiwan, which passed with 385 votes, Israel 366 votes, Ukraine 311 votes. This had overwhelming support. So I am not prepared to penalize the Speaker for taking this action. My colleagues, I think, overwhelmingly agreed with me, and leadership made it clear that we will not allow this action by Marjorie Taylor Greene to go forward. That was the right thing to do. Every day is a new day.
Right.
What we hope is maybe this sets a new path. What Speaker Johnson hopefully recognized and we achieved is that by working together, bringing people in the middle to move things forward, it's not just national security bills like we passed 2 weeks ago or 2 Saturdays ago. We need to fund the FAA. We need to pass a farm bill, and finding that middle is the way to go. Hopefully, Speaker Johnson
to be clear,
got the message.
You only feel comfortable with this first motion to vacate. If subsequent ones come down the pike, you're going to have to assess each individually, right?
What I'm hopeful is Speaker Johnson learned from the experience of getting something really important done by working across the aisle. If he continues to do that, that's wonderful. Many people are saying we want a new speaker. I want a new speaker. We have an election in November. Right. Hopefully the Democrats, and I expect the Democrats will take majority in the House. I look forward to Hakeem Jeffries being our next speaker.
All right, Congressman, great conversation. I appreciate you being here.
Good to see you.
Thanks.